know, sometimes in the NFL, there are stories that just don't sit right. They hit you sideways like a pass rusher coming off the blind side. And that's exactly how this Cam Heyward situation feels right now for Steelers Nation. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's messy, it's surprising, and above all, it's disappointing coming from someone who's been a pillar of this franchise for over a decade. Cam Heyward, 36 years old, a leader in the locker room, Walter, Payton Man of the Year, someone who's earned the respect not just of his teammates, but the entire city of Pittsburgh. And now, this. Less than a year after signing a 2-year extension worth $29 million, here we are. Headlines flying, rumors swirling, and a sudden vibe shift at training camp in Latrobe. And the worst part? It didn't even come from inside the Steelers media circle. This wasn't a controlled leak or a calculated move to push internal conversations. No. This came out of left field, reportedly shared with someone who doesn't even cover the Steelers on a regular basis. That right there tells you how off the rails this is. Because look, if there's an issue, if Cam or his camp wants to renegotiate, if there's real tension between the player and the front office, you handle that inside the building. You pick up the phone, you sit down with Omar Khan, you don't air it out through third parties who barely understand the pulse of this team. And that's what makes this whole thing feel so avoidable and honestly kind of embarrassing. Let's rewind a bit and remember what this extension actually was. Last year, the Steelers went out on a limb for Cam. He was coming off a strong season, sure, but he wasn't a young man anymore in football terms. There were concerns, age, durability. He even had surgery during the offseason. But Pittsburgh still committed. 2 years, nearly $15 million a year. Most of that for this season, around $13.5 million, was already paid as a roster bonus in March. This wasn't some lowball deal. This was a legit commitment from the organization to a veteran they trusted. And now we're hearing whispers that Cam's camp thinks he deserves more, that he's underpaid, that his contract should be restructured again. And why? Because TJ Watt got a massive new deal, because other players around the league are cashing in. That's how it goes in the NFL. That's always how it's gone. You sign your deal, and within days, sometimes hours, someone else gets a bigger one. That's not a reason to rework a signed contract. That's just the nature of the business, even if, in hindsight, Cam outperformed expectations last year. He still agreed to the terms. He signed on the dotted line. He made the decision. And now when the team is trying to build momentum going into the season, when young guys are stepping up, when the entire narrative around this defense is about heart and hunger, now is the time to send this kind of message? It's just bad timing, and it's a bad look. Worse yet, what message does this send to the locker room? What does it say to the rookies? What does it say to the guys busting it every day in camp, watching a respected leader standing on the sidelines? In sweats instead of being out there in pads. Because that's the situation. Cam has been present. Yes, he's been vocal, supportive, engaged, but he's not practicing. Not fully, not consistently. And when that happens right after rumors of contract discontent surface, it's impossible to separate the two. People want to call it a hold-in. Some say it's not quite that. Others say it might become that. Whatever it is, it's not helpful. And it's not the Cam Heyward we're used to seeing. This is the same guy who just weeks ago was calling out Aaron Rodgers for dragging his feet and not showing up, asking whether Rodgers wanted to be a Jet or not. And now he's the one hanging back. He's the one sending mixed signals. To be clear, nobody's questioning Cam's legacy. Nobody's dismissing what he's done for this team, for the city, for the game. He's been elite for years, a constant presence in the trenches, a guy who does the dirty work and never complains until now. Which is why this whole thing feels so jarring. It's like suddenly waking up in an alternate reality where the guy who's always been the embodiment of team first is suddenly making it about the money at the worst possible time. I mean, really think about what's at stake here. This season, more than any in recent memory, feels like it has emotional weight behind it. There's talk, maybe not banners or official slogans, but talk, real talk, of winning one for Cam and TJ. You hear it in the locker room whispers. You feel it in the fan base. This is the year to go all in, to give these guys, these longtime warriors, the ring they deserve. And now there's this cloud over training camp, a distraction, a tension that didn't need to be there. And what's it really about? A couple million more? A symbolic restructuring? A statement contract to match perceived value? It just feels small. It feels selfish. The truth is Cam should know better. His agent should know better. There's a way to handle business, and this ain't it. Not when the team's still reeling from other distractions in recent years. Not when stability is more important than ever. And certainly not when you're trying to establish a culture of accountability and focus. And let's flip this around for a second. What happens if the Steelers give in? What happens if they reopen the deal less than a year after signing it? What kind of precedent does that set? Suddenly every player on the roster is thinking about their contract, their value, their leverage. It becomes a circus. And Omar Khan, who has been nothing if not deliberate and calculated since taking over, has no reason to go down that path. Now, if you want to talk about players who deserve a second look at their deals, let's talk about Chris Boswell. The guy's got no guaranteed money left on his contract, and he's still one of the best kickers in the league. That's a situation worth revisiting. That has merit. But this? No, this doesn't. Cam Heyward is better than this. He's smarter than this. But whatever's happening right now, whether it's him, his agent, or both, it's doing real damage to his reputation and to the team's focus. And it's not just fans noticing. This stuff gets into the locker room. Players start asking questions. Reporters start speculating. And suddenly what should be a clean, sharp training camp becomes a media circus. The saddest part is how unnecessary all of this is. Cam already had the respect. He already had the role. He already had the contract. He didn't need to stir anything up. Not this way. Not at this moment. Not with this team that's trying to build something real. And listen, if this is about setting the tone for future negotiations, if this is a play for one more payday before retirement, there are better ways to go about it. Quiet meetings, behind the scenes talks, mutual understanding, not anonymous quotes to outside media. Not passive hold-ins. As of now, Cam hasn't spoken publicly about the situation. He declined interviews after practice, leaving everyone to speculate, which only adds to the confusion and the frustration. Because if you've got something to say it. Stand behind it. Don't let rumors do the talking. And that's what's really bothering people right now. The lack of clarity. The sense that something's off. That this isn't the Cam Heyward we've come to know. And maybe it's a temporary misstep. Maybe he'll come out tomorrow, say his piece, clear the air, and get back to work. We can hope. Steelers Nation deserves that. But for now, it's a mess, a distraction, a gut punch to fans who wanted this year to be about unity, about redemption, about one last ride for a couple of Warriors who've given everything to this team. There's still time to fix this. There's still time to right the ship. But it starts with Cam. It starts with being honest about what matters most. Legacy or leverage. Because right now the two are colliding, and only one will define how this season and Cam's Steelers' career is ultimately remembered. Moving beyond the Cam Heyward situation, there's plenty more going on in Steelers camp that deserves some serious attention. One of the biggest ongoing storylines revolves around the offensive line, specifically the tackles. If you've been following training camp updates, you know that the interior offensive line, the center and guards, has shown some solid footing. The rookies last year stepped up well in those roles, and that part of the line has been a consistent strength for Pittsburgh. But when it comes to the tackles, especially the left tackle position, the concerns are real and persistent. Steelers Nation has heard a lot of chatter about what the team might do to fix this. Some fans and analysts have floated the idea that the Steelers might consider hiring a specialized coach to work exclusively with the tackles. The hope would be that the current offensive line coach, Pat Meyer, could focus solely on the interior linemen while someone else handles the tackles who clearly need extra attention. That's an understandable suggestion. After all, in today's NFL, coaching has become so specialized. You see teams bringing in position coaches for every little thing, from pass rushers to return specialists. And with the stakes as high as they are in Pittsburgh this year, you want every advantage you can get. But the reality of the Steelers' approach, at least for now, is different. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have been swirling around the NFL landscape, hinting that the Pittsburgh Steelers might be on the verge of making the most groundbreaking acquisition in their storied history by securing Tyreek Hill. Known for his blistering speed and electrifying plays, Hill has been a game changer wherever he has played, and the mere prospect of him donning the black and gold has fans and analysts buzzing with excitement. The rumor mill suggests that the Steelers front office is aggressively pursuing the dynamic wide receiver, hoping to inject new life into an offense that has long been searching for a consistent, deep threat. Hill's ability to stretch the field and create separation with his unparalleled quickness could transform Pittsburgh's aerial attack into one of the most feared in the league. The potential synergy with a team's existing stars is tantalizing to consider. Hill's presence would demand extra attention from opposing defenses, potentially opening up opportunities for other playmakers and elevating the entire offense's efficiency. Conversations in sports circles speculate that such a move would not only be a huge win for the Steelers on the field, but also a bold statement about the franchise's ambition to return to dominance. If the deal comes to fruition, it might redefine the franchise's trajectory for years to come, sources close. To the situation hint that negotiations have been intense and ongoing, with the Steelers leaving no stone unturned to bring Hill to Pittsburgh. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders say the front office is fully aware of the opportunity they have at hand. Tyreek Hill's explosiveness and game-changing potential could be exactly what the Steelers need to revive their offensive prowess, especially after a few seasons of inconsistency. The Steelers have historically been known for their formidable defense, but adding a player of Hill's caliber on offense could provide the perfect balance needed to dominate both sides of the ball. Rumors also suggest that Hill's representatives have expressed interest in joining a team with a rich tradition and passionate fan base, both of which Pittsburgh offers in abundance. The idea of Hill pairing with the Steelers quarterback excites many who believe this union could lead to spectacular highlight reel moments week after week. There is also speculation that Hill's leadership and work ethic might align well with Pittsburgh's team culture, fostering a positive locker room environment that drives success. Fans and analysts alike are eagerly awaiting any official word. But the buzz surrounding Hill and the Steelers continues to build steadily. In addition to the potential on-field benefits, this possible acquisition carries significant implications for the Steelers' strategic future. Tyreek Hill's presence could force opposing teams to rethink their defensive schemes, as his speed and agility create matchup nightmares. This could in turn open new creative avenues for Pittsburgh's coaching staff to exploit, diversifying their playbook in ways previously not possible. Industry insiders speculate that Hill's signing might prompt the Steelers to invest further in their offensive line and complementary skill positions, aiming to maximize his impact. Such moves could signal a broader shift in the team's philosophy towards a more aggressive and high-powered offense, contrasting with their traditionally defense-heavy approach. There's also chatter that Hill's marketability could boost the Steelers brand globally, attracting new fans and sponsorship deals. This potential signing resonates beyond the field, highlighting how sports franchises are now considering business and entertainment value alongside pure athleticism. The Steelers could be positioning themselves not just to win games, but to reclaim their status as an iconic franchise in the NFL landscape. If the rumors prove true, this could be a defining moment for Pittsburgh football, energizing the fan base and sparking a new era of excitement. The buzz about Tyreek Hill joining the Steelers also raises questions about how the team's dynamics might shift to accommodate such a high-profile addition. Speculation abounds regarding how the coaching staff will integrate Hill into existing offensive schemes while maintaining balance among the current roster. Some suggest the Steelers might tweak their play calling to highlight Hill's unique talents, emphasizing vertical routes and explosive plays. Others wonder how veteran players will react to sharing the spotlight with a superstar recruit. This potential move could rejuvenate veterans by providing new weapons, but could also create competition that reshapes roles and responsibilities on the team. The rumor mill is filled with chatter about how Hill's speed might complement or even challenge the contributions of Pittsburgh's other receivers, possibly leading to intriguing on-field dynamics. Furthermore, analysts debate the impact on the quarterback's performance and confidence, as having a reliable deep threat could ease pressure and improve passing efficiency. The Steelers' locker room atmosphere, team chemistry, and leadership hierarchy may all undergo subtle shifts as a result of this rumored signing, setting the stage for an evolving team identity. Whether these changes lead to immediate success or require adjustment periods remains part of an ongoing intrigue surrounding this potential blockbuster deal. Finally, the speculation surrounding Tyreek Hill's potential arrival in Pittsburgh has ignited a firestorm of discussion among fans, media, and rival teams alike. Social media platforms are buzzing with fan theories, mock trades, and bold predictions about how Hill's signing could rewrite the Steelers' legacy. Some commentators argue this could be the single most impactful free agent acquisition in franchise history, elevating Pittsburgh to Super Bowl contender status. Others caution that such high expectations come with risks, including salary cap, challenges, and the pressure to integrate a superstar quickly. Nevertheless, the anticipation alone has already energized the Steelers community, reigniting hopes for a resurgence reminiscent of the team's glory days. Rival teams are reportedly watching closely, aware that a Hill-Steelers alliance could shift competitive balances across the league. Betting markets have even started adjusting odds, reflecting growing confidence in the Steelers' offensive revival. As the offseason progresses, all eyes remain fixed on Pittsburgh, waiting to see if this tantalizing rumor will solidify into one of the most talked about signings in NFL history. The possibility of Tyreek Hill becoming a Steeler has already transformed the narrative around the franchise's future, making this rumor one of the most electrifying stories in professional football today. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.